You felt it before you understood it. A crow remembers your face, and it has been watching for longer than you think. Maybe it was the morning you swung a rake too close to a nest. Maybe it was the afternoon you startled one off your fence and it screamed. That flat, ragged alarm call aimed straight at you. You forgot it by dinner. The crow did not. What if that single forgettable moment never actually ended? What if it's still going 3 years later every time you walk to your mailbox? Somewhere above your yard right now, a black eye may be logging your face into a memory that outlasts most human grudges. And it doesn't stop with one bird. Most of us assume birds live entirely in the present. Small brain, short memory, no grudges. Startle one and it's over, forgotten by the next feeding. That assumption feels obvious. It is also, for crows, almost exactly backwards. Crows are corvids, the same family as ravens and magpies, and their brains pack an extraordinary density of neurons into a small skull, proportionally rivaling primates. That density buys them something rare in the animal world: individual human face recognition, held for years, not days. Think of the last person who startled you badly enough that you still tense up seeing their car. Crows do that. About you. The proof didn't come from folklore. It came from a university campus, a rubber mask, and a very unlucky group of trapped birds. A study from the University of Washington, led by wildlife biologist John Marsloff, published its first results in 2011. Researchers wore a distinctive rubber mask, a caveman face, deliberately strange, nothing like it existed in nature, while briefly trapping and banding wild crows on campus. It was a single encounter, 5 to 10 minutes, then release. No mask, no threat ever again from that person. But the crows didn't file it away as a one-time event. Within days, any human wearing that same mask, a totally different person underneath it, was mobbed, scolded, dive-bombed across the quad, sometimes from crows that hadn't even been the ones originally trapped. The mask was the threat. The person wearing it never mattered at all.
Here's where it stops being a party trick and starts being unsettling. Marsloff's team returned to test the same masked threat 1 year later. The mobbing hadn't faded. It had spread. More crows reacted, not fewer, including birds that were juveniles, too young to have been present for the original trapping at all. The only way a young crow could know to fear that face is if an adult crow taught it. Not through instinct, through observation, alongside a mother, father, or the wider flock, watching an older bird react and copying the response. A 5-minute mistake on a Tuesday morning had become inherited knowledge, passed down like a family story nobody chose to write down. And the story kept aging.
By 2012, the same research team pushed further, using PET brain imaging on trapped crows shown the threatening mask versus a neutral one. The scans, published that year, showed activity concentrated in regions of the crow brain associated with fear, decision-making, and, notably, areas functionally similar to parts of the human amygdala and hippocampus, the seats of emotional memory in our own brains. This wasn't a reflex. It was something closer to what happens in your brain when you glimpse someone who once hurt you in a parking lot. Recognition, recall, and a fast whole-body response, all before conscious thought catches up. The crow outside your window is not reacting on instinct alone. It is remembering.
The original study, crows were tracked for years afterward. The mobbing response documented as still active at the 8-year mark in follow-up observations. One of the longest documented examples of individual facial memory in a wild, non-primate animal. Crows in the wild routinely live 10 to 15 years, some past 20. Their memory of your face isn't a fading photograph. It may simply outlast the years you spend not thinking about them at all. And memory alone isn't the strangest part of what happens next in the flock. Crows don't just remember individually.
They broadcast. Christopher Templeton's research on related Corvid alarm calls, conducted through the University of Washington, found that alarm vocalizations carry encoded specific information.
Most crows live
Not
up to
just
8
danger,
years.
but details about what kind of danger, understood by nearby birds, who then adjust their own behavior accordingly. Applied to the mask studies, this means one bird's bad memory of you can ripple outward through a shared language, reaching crows who never once stood in your yard, who never saw your face directly, who simply heard the call and understood. How many crows right now could recognize you and have never actually met you? There's something almost humbling buried in this. We tend to think of our impact on wildlife as fleeting. A startled bird, a slammed door, a dog that barked once at a fence line. Gone the moment we walk away. Crows quietly argue otherwise. They are, in effect, keeping a ledger. Not of malice, but of pattern. Who is safe, who is not, who deserves a wide berth, and who can be trusted near the nest. Marsluff has described crow society, only half joking, as having a kind of cultural memory. Legends about specific humans, told and retold, minus the words. The rake you swung too close, the window you tapped to shoo one off. It's still in the ledger. So go back to that crow above your mailbox. It may genuinely be the same individual from 3 years ago. Crows are territorial and often stay close to home range for life. Or it may be its offspring, taught the alarm call before it ever laid eyes on you. Or it may be a bird from 2 territories over who heard the story secondhand and simply believed it. Either way, the face you forgot by dinner that day was never actually erased. It was filed, shared, and kept current. A small act echoing through a species built to never quite let it go. The forgetting, it turns out, was only ever on your side. If you want a different kind of ledger entry, it starts small. This week, try offering food from the same spot, in the same calm posture, ideally the same clothing, a few times in a row. Crows build trust through consistency almost as fast as they build suspicion. Avoid sudden movement near a nest in spring, and if you do startle one by accident, don't chase it off further. Let it settle and watch you settle too. Over months, that pattern can shift you from a name in the danger ledger to one in the safe column, recognized and passed down for entirely different reasons. If this changed how you look at the bird outside your window, the next video on how scrub jays remember exactly what they buried and when is waiting for you now. New video every week. I'll see you in the yard.